There's always a lot of talk about removing a back window and how difficult it is or how each person does it. So let's pull this window and get some bronze in there. Yeah. Basically what you want to do is pop this rubber seal out and the back window will come out. Now it is possible to do that from the outside. It's a little more difficult if you would happen to have left your keys in your truck and lock the doors. You can get in from the outside, but it's generally easier to try to take the seal out from the inside, starting anyway. And that's going to depend on what model of truck you have also. The base model trucks, you'll be able to see the seal on the inside, and here you can't. That's really the metal trim around the window. All of this trim here is going to need to come out, or at least to be loosened up to remove that back window. We're going to start with just taking the bottom piece off since it's got 3 screws and see where that gets us. I'll tell you what, it is a whole lot easier working on a truck that has an extended cab, lots more room to get in to where you need to. Well, anyway, remove those 2. We got 1 more screw over here and we'll have this lower panel off. With the lower panel removed, you can see the body of the truck, and there's the actual seal that we're wanting to get at. The corner's still buried in there. One thing that's interesting about this extended cab is that panel that covered that is also made of metal. Some of the other ones are made of an ABS covered with carpet or velour. This one is not, it's just painted. So, like with anything else, there is a learning curve. We do need to remove these panels, and that's going to be fun. That screw there came out whenever you remove the lower panel. There's 2 more screws there. 1 more up there with the hook. Another one up there. You can't hardly see these, can you? Another one behind the seat belt. And 2 down inside where the seats are. And then this fun guy here. Trying to film in the back of a dark truck when it's bright outside. The light isn't adjusting very well, but you can see I'm on the upper seat belt bolt, my ratchet, and I have a small cheater bar. It's probably about 16 inches long that I use to get that bolt off, and they break off. Not break off, break loose pretty easy. I've got the side panel off. And you know what this really makes me want to do, because I'm going to have to remove the other one. It wouldn't be a whole lot more work to go ahead and pull the headliner, since the back window is going to be out, and deal with that as well. Remember me talking about the snowball effect? Here it goes. Okay, it might look a little more like your truck if you had a regular cab, minus this extra stuff right here. But anyway, you can see the seal all the way around now, other than at the top where my headliner is sagging. And usually the best place to start is in the corner when you're trying to get a window out. And I like to use some carpenter's pencils, and I'll show you what those are. These are carpenter pencils. You can pretty much get them free just about any place that sells lumber. And they're made of wood, so they don't mar the paint or damage the rubber at all. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is an aftermarket window that somebody put in here at one time or another. It doesn't fit really well, but the seal was tore in the corner. And anyway, you shove out really, really hard in the bottom corner there, or you might take a screwdriver and get up under here and pry. You wouldn't want to do that with a full glass back window, but with this window the frame's a little bulky, so you can pry that up till you can get a little bit of a gap and get a pencil. You can see daylight through that right there. the pencil goes all the way through to the outside, and that's the key to getting started, is have an area that'll hold for you while you work your way down the line with one of those pencils. If you just keep pushing, you'll see the seal start to fold to the outside, and you'll just work your way down through there same way. We're just going to push right here in the corner, and you'll see the seal start to come out, and I've got to keep a hold of the window as I'm pushing. I move my pencil farther and farther over each time. I've got some cardboard laid out there you can see through the back window just in case this thing would fall out on me. You may want to do the top first. I've always done the bottoms. It usually, actually every single time it stayed in there. I'm not saying that it won't fall out, and this one has a frame. If it was a tempered glass piece, there might be a little bit of worry, but anyway, lay something in the bed to catch the window if it would happen to, if you're by yourself. And you just keep working it along. It may take you a little bit because this is pretty stiff, hasn't been in and out of here. And like I said, this one does have a little bit bigger frame than a normal window would have, so don't give up. Popping the seal up a little bit beforehand kind of breaks it loose. I don't know, the rubber forms some kind of bond with the cab wall there a little bit, but it does make it quite a bit easier. More than halfway. Woohoo! You don't want to flex your window too much. These back windows do have a lot of give to them. Even if this was a solid glass back window, it's still going to be flexing, which is the cool thing about tempered glass. Well, we've just about got this thing ready to fall out of here. Once you start to get near the end, it's going to come out pretty easy. I'm going to go to the outside. Ta-da! Not too much. I bet you that probably took me total of about 15 minutes with getting all the plastic and everything out of my way. So don't be afraid to try it. Here in a little bit, I'll make another video of how to put it back in. Pretty much just the reverse. Actually, it's a little bit easier. And takes a little bit longer, but it's a little bit less sweat. And I'm going to see what we can do with this headliner. So, changing a back window turned into removing all of the plastic in my truck and removing the headliner. Might as well show you how to remove a headliner while we're at it, right? Well, you already saw that I had to remove all the plastic. Got the back window out, unless that's the clearest back window you've ever seen. So then you remove your visors, and depending on what model you have, I had the double visors. There's 3 bolts in your regular visor. Unplug the light if your visors are lit. 2 more screws for the extra sunshade, and 2 7mm screws right there. And the headliner should drop out of here. You may have to remove the pillars, which is only 2 screws. But my headliner is out right there, so I think that I can drop it out of the other side without having to unscrew that pillar. Maybe unscrew just one. We'll see. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but that's the easiest way to take a headliner out, is through the back window. Look how beautiful that roof looks. One of my clips came off right there though, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So everything's always got a snowball. That's just the way it is. You start one project and wind up with a half dozen more. You just got to keep on keeping on. Don't stop trucking. So here I am, left with a pile of parts and another list of projects. But when it all comes together, it's going to look awesome. It's like multitasking. Nothing ever looks done until all of a sudden everything's done at once. It's just the way it is. It sucks, but that's the reality. Y'all take it easy. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm obviously going to have to make a recovering the headliner video now too, so what do you know?